Hello again. I remarked the other day that if things carry on in the same way they have been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, then we shall find ourselves sleepwalking into another world war. The news that both Britain and America are now fighting in the Middle East, with the open support or participation of Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, New Zealand, and South Korea, tend rather to lend credence to this idea. The ultimate aim is, of course, to curb Iranian influence in the area, which, by a really strange coincidence, also happens to be just what Israel is at the moment fighting a war about. Spooky or what? Now, I'm fully in favour of anything which works to Israel's geopolitical advantage, but I do not really see why this country should be fighting in this way. Or rather, I can see why we have launched this attack, but it has nothing at all to do with either Israel or Iran, or indeed Britain's interests. There will be an election in Britain before the end of the year, just as there will in the United States. One of the best ways for the leaders of those two nations to make themselves appear tough and capable men is to fight a short and successful war. This will give politicians the opportunity to play at soldiers by putting on combat jackets and even steel helmets so that they look the part. We saw Keir Starmer playing this game the other day, and it was a favourite of Margaret Thatcher as well. Nothing says strong leader more than posing on the turret of a tank and gazing fearlessly out, ready to tackle any dangers. It is a powerful image, and Margaret Thatcher did very well out of it. In 1981, opinion polls showed her to be the most unpopular Prime Minister in Britain since the First World War. In 1983, though, she won a fantastic landslide victory in that year's general election. An amazing turnaround. What on earth happened in 1982 to transform her fortunes in this way? What happened, of course, was a short, sharp and successful war. The one in the Falklands, remember? I cannot help but wonder if Rishi Sunak, who is himself, according to the opinion polls, a spectacularly unpopular Prime Minister, feels that he might be able to pull a similar stunt. Does he think that if he can help vanquish the Iranians and free the Middle East of the threat of war, then he might be regarded in the same light as Margaret Thatcher? Does he perhaps dream of a victory parade through London in which he's able to review troops and set himself up as the man who brought stability to the oil-producing regions of the Gulf? After all, things could hardly look more bleak for him politically at the moment, and so he has nothing to lose by such a gambit. Of course, he may have nothing to lose because he and his wife are fabulously rich and own a luxurious home in California where he could simply nip off to if it all goes wrong in this country. But for the rest of us, the prospects are far less certain. What if he really did help trigger the onset of the Third World War by these actions? This would hardly be to the advantage of anybody in this country, other, of course, than people like arms manufacturers and so on.